Hello there! Today we're going to put woodless watercolour pencils to the test by creating this bright and fun seahorse piece. If you haven't tried these pencils yet, trust me, you will love them. And fun fact, watercolour pencils are actually what first got me into art. In this lesson, we'll be showing you 3 ways to use these versatile pencils. So let's get into it. First, we need a nice flat surface to work on. Here we are using an A3 drawing board. The reference outline is available on our website, and you can either draw it directly onto your paper or print it out and transferring it using a 6B or darker pencil. The darker the better for transferring. Once that's done, we're ready for watercolour paper. We're using cotton watercolour paper today, and it's my favourite. It's very robust and hard wearing. Watercolour paper has a rough and a smooth side, and today we'll be using the rough side. If you're looking for a smoother finish for more illustrative work, the smooth side is perfect. Next, tape the reference outline to the watercolour paper. I recommend de-tacking the tape a little bit before applying it to the paper, so it's not too sticky and won't damage the surface of the paper. Grab an F-grade pencil and trace over the reference image. Then flip the page back to check your progress. Stay inspired and don't miss a video from us. Subscribe and leave a comment below with what you'd like us to create next. We'd love to hear from you. Once the outline is transferred, remove the reference page and use that same pencil to gently darken the outline. If you draw a lot, a drawing board is a fantastic addition to your studio. I've had mine for years now. It's adjustable so you can work at any angle. Plus it provides a solid, smooth working surface. We'll now use some masking fluid to mask certain areas so the paper remains untouched with paint. Shake it well before use. I like to pour a little into the palette, or a jar lid works well too. Use a cheap brush for this, since latex can be tricky to clean from bristles. I'm applying the masking fluid to cover up the exoskeleton of the seahorse. Keep the masking fluid layer thin to make it easier to remove later. In certain areas, I'm dragging the brush lightly over the surface to give me a broken surface, so little amounts of paint will still colour the paper here and there. Don't worry too much about getting it perfectly inside the lines. We're going to be splashing paint and water around so it looks painterly. Have you created one of our projects? Make sure you send us a photo. We love seeing your creations. Before putting the masking fluid away, I'm going to flick it around to create some fun splatters. These will stay white even if a little paint lands on them. While that dries, let's tape down the edges of the paper. I find packing tape works well, but you can use whatever you have at hand. This helps to minimise the paper from buckling when we add the water. Once the masking fluid is dry, it's time to work on the colour palette. Grab the woodless watercolour pencils. I'll be using cadmium yellow, crimson and cerulean blue for the background. On a separate sheet of paper, create large square swatches of these colours, which we'll use to paint with. This is the first technique for using these pencils. This is a great way to create a portable palette for plein air painting too. You can swatch your colours in a journal, for example, and use the opposite page for your artwork. These pencils are high quality, so they're packed with vibrant pigment. Just look at how bright these colours are on the page. I'm using a large mop brush dipped with water. As I brush over the yellow swatch, the colour comes off like regular paint. I'll pick up some yellow and flick it onto the paper. Then switch to the red and flick that onto the other side of the page. Let a little of the yellow mix in, but don't overdo it. Remember, you can always add more paint, but it's hard to take it away. After washing the brush, I'll grab some cerulean blue and add that around the seahorse. Stay inspired and don't miss a video from us. Subscribe and leave a comment below with what you'd like us to create next. We'd love to hear from you. Let this dry before moving on. Now let's start adding colour to the seahorse. I'm using a mix of orange, cadmium yellow, cerulean, crimson, purple, scarlet, lavender and phthalo green. Start by applying crimson to the end of the seahorse's muzzle. Keep the colour concentrated at the top and then blend in cadmium yellow at the bottom. Add cerulean blue as you work along and finish with crimson at the tips. I'm not aiming for full coverage yet because we'll blend it all out with water. Add some lavender around the head and orange near the eye area. Followed by lavender on the eye and a little touch of cadmium yellow to blend into the orange. As you move down the neck, switch between crimson, cerulean and scarlet. Again, don't worry about full coverage. Just add a little bit of colour here and there. The masking fluid will keep the areas it covers white. For the body, the main colour I'll use is cerulean, but I'll also add some orange and crimson near the end of the tail, blending them together. Use lavender to bridge the gap between the crimson and the cerulean and add phthalo green into the seahorse's belly. This may look blue now, but once we add water, it will turn into a beautiful green. With that little bit of yellow behind it, I've also lightly coloured the spines to help blend that colour in. Darken the spine area with scarlet and a little cadmium yellow. Keep layering on to create smooth transitions between colours. Now dip a small brush in water and gently wet the areas to activate the colour. Be sure to clean your brush between colours. I've found that a small round brush works best for detailing. This is the second technique, applying the pencil directly to the paper and blending it with water. If you've painted with watercolours before, this might feel a little different, but I really like the control these pencils give over where the colour goes. They blend beautifully and you can see the texture of the paper underneath. Continue blending the colours together as you work down the body. Unlike regular watercolours, these pencils don't dissolve completely, which leaves a lovely texture that works so well for this kind of painting. Leave the eye for last and blend the colours there. Looking at it, I think I want to add a little black to the eye, so I'll use the pencil to create a deep tone, add a little bit of water and paint it in. For extra dimension, I'll use cerulean and scarlet to accentuate the skeleton and blend it in with water. Once you're happy with the colours, let it dry completely. Once it's dry, use an eraser or your finger to gently peel off the masking fluid. It should roll off easily, sort of like a thin sticker. Be patient during this step and work your way through the artwork slowly. Since the painting is water-based, it won't move as you remove the masking fluid. I like to keep a brush on hand to dust off any excess. For the final technique, I'm dipping the pencil directly into the water to draw fine details on the spiny parts of our seahorse's head. The great thing about these pencils is you can sharpen them just like regular pencils. No need for special tools or hobby knives. I'm taking this down the back and under the back fin. When you're happy with your piece, gently remove the tape and voila! Well, thanks for watching. We hope you had fun creating this vibrant seahorse today with us. Stay tuned for more exciting projects coming soon, and we'll see you in the next one.